Hello, welcome to the 160 Q&A test. Plaintiff attorney is Mr. Johns, Johns. Defense is Mr. Neyman, Neyman. Okay, plaintiff Mr. Johns, Johns. Defense Mr. Neyman, Neyman. And this is going to start with defense attorney. Ready? All right. What is your date of birth? June 28th, 1946. And what is your educational background? I graduated from high school. You graduated from high school? Yes, I did. What high school did you graduate from? Maine Unified School District or high school? You're a local resident of Maine, is that right? Yes, I am. Yes, sir. Okay, and what year did you actually graduate from high school? It was in 1964, I think. Yes, 1964. And are you currently employed at this time? Yes, I am. And where are you employed? I work at Fisher Industrial Supply in Troy, Maine. When did you first start working for Fisher Industrial Supply? I started in June of 2010. Okay, I am going to come back to Fisher Industrial. Now, where did you work before that? CMTG, no, excuse me. I actually worked for a company called Moto Electric. And what dates did you work for Motor Electric approximately? Well, it was about 8 years, so it would be from 2003 to 2010, I think. What did you do for Motor Electric? I supervised the maintenance of locomotives for CMTG. Did any of your job duties with Motor Electric involve driving a forklift? That is overbroad, counsel. Objection. You can answer. Sorry, I'm just making an objection. I did not directly know. Did you on any occasion during the 8 years that you were employed by Motor Electric drive a forklift? Yes, I did. How many times, if you can give me an estimate? Oh, it was 40 times maybe. Okay, where did you work before Motor Electric? I worked at Power Rail. How is that spelled? It is Power, P-O-W-E-R, Power, Rail, R-A-I-L, Power Rail. The company is called P-Rail or Power Rail. What did you do for them? I supervised the maintenance of locomotives. It was the same job basically. It was the same job as Motor Electric bought out the contract, so I went from Power Rail to Motor Electric. Does that make sense? Yes. How long were you working for Power Rail? It was about 7 years or something close to that. So it was basically the same job duties as the previous company? Yes, that is right. And you would occasionally drive a forklift for that company? Yes, occasionally. How about before Power Rail? Well, I worked for CMTG as a mechanic for 31 years. I was kind of hoping you'd have a 31-year in there, so I wouldn't have to go through too many more. And that was basically doing mechanical work on locomotives? That is correct, yes. Would you operate forklifts about the same intervals that you would during your employment with Motor Electric and Power Rail? It was maybe a little more. Where did you first receive training on the operating of a forklift? It was from CMTG. My first training was in 1964, which that was my job. I actually started as a laborer and worked or drove the forklift and doing that type of thing. All right, please describe the training that you received in the operation of a forklift. Well, we had classes and took tests, watched videos, and did actual driving of the forklift. This was on-the-job training, is that correct? Yes, it was on-the-job training. After your initial training to drive a forklift, did you receive periodic other training as your career went on in order to stay updated on any changes? No, I did not. Did you receive any type of a certificate to operate a forklift as a result of your training? Yes, I did. What was the certificate called? Do you know? They just gave us a license. Who gave you a license? CMTG gave us the license. Okay, when you started working for Fisher Industrial Supply in June of 2011, did they do any additional training with you in the operation of their forklifts? No, they did not. Okay, now what were your job duties at Fisher Industrial Supply? Well, let's say at or near the date of the accident on July 8, 2014. Can you say it one more time, please? Sorry. What were your job duties in 2014 when you were working for Fisher Industrial Supply? I'm basically a janitor, forklift operator, hauler. Well, basically that's it. I also put away material and stuff as we unload it and things of that nature. All right, what percentage of your job duties are spent operating the forklift for Fisher Industrial Supply in 2014? Well, approximately once a day I unload a vehicle or a truck. And are there other employees of Fisher Industrial Supply whose duties are to unload trucks when they deliver material to them? All of the employees are capable of, and do so on occasion, unload the trucks. Whoever is available at the time is the one who completes that task. When you say all of the employees of Fisher Industrial Supply are capable of operating a forklift, how many employees are we talking about approximately? Well, let's see. There are 4 other than myself that are employed by them. Even the manager, which would add up to 5. He does sometimes operate the forklift too. How many times per week on the average would you operate a forklift and unload trailers while you've been employed by Fisher Industrial Supply? Since I started? Yes, since you started in 2011. We're not talking about a long period of time. Okay, all right. When I started, I basically did not do that type of work for the first, say, 3 years. I basically cleaned up the yard, and it was in quite a mess at the time. And I spent a lot of time the first 3 years just cleaning and sweeping and disposing of a lot of old material and cleaning up the yard and making it a cleaner area. So that's what I did in the first couple of years. As I got that done, they lost an employee. He moved on. So I just sort of started cleaning inside the building and operating the forklift when necessary, unloading a truck. The last 2.5 years, I would say I averaged maybe twice a week, and 9 times out of 10, that's unloading metal off a delivery truck that brings us our metal or steel, which takes maybe 15 minutes a day. I might do that twice a week. All right. So we do have a word list. We've got Troy, Maine. Troy, capital T-R-O-Y. Maine, capital M-A-I-N. Let's see here. CMTG. Capital C, capital M, capital T, capital G, no periods, all caps. Motor Electric, capital M-O-T-O-R, electric, capital E-L-E-C-T-R-I-C. Power Rail, capital P-O-W-E-R, rail, capital R-A-I-L. And then they also refer to it as P-rail. So in that case, you're going to capitalize P, no period, space, and then rail, capital R-A-I-L. Maine Unified School District. I also refer to it as Maine High School. Maine, I just realized this doesn't have an E on the end of that. Maine is M-A-I-N-E, so I apologize for that. Maine Unified School District, capital M-A-I-N-E, Unified, capital U-N-I-F-I-E-D, School, capital S on school, District, capital D on district. It's a particular school district, so we're going to capitalize it. And then Maine High School, M-A-I-N-E, high, capital H on high, and school, capital S on school. And I think that that concludes our 160 Q&A test. Good luck.